We left off with the stomach, and I'm going to, give us a little diagram of the stomach and see how its structure and function are related. So here's my stomach, kind of like this. Now let's label some of our parts. This anterior part, or closer to the top, we call this the cardiac end because it's closer to our heart. So cardiac end, or you can say this, the cardia. This side here, closer to the bottom, we call this the pyloric end. Pyloric end. And the naming will be helpful in a sec. We have like these two roadblocks, these blockades, one at the entrance, one at the exit of our stomach. We call these sphincters. So this one up here would be the cardiac sphincter. It's a ring-shaped muscle, and it controls, how much food can enter the stomach. And this sphincter here, the pyloric sphincter, controls how much exits the stomach and enters the small intestine. Okay. So this, top area, we call this the, fundus. The body of the stomach, we aptly call this just, the body. This side of the stomach, with this great angle, we call this, the greater curvature. This is, relative to this side, which we call the lesser curvature. Lesser curvature. If you were to open up the stomach, inside you will see these little folds. So these folds, we call these, rugae. These folds. They help us maximize surface area, get the food in contact with our chemicals, but this is also for our mechanical digestion, the churning. If you think of the churning of our stomach. I think this is all I wanted to mention for our stomach. Okay, now for some anatomy terms. I'm going to do a, pretty simple sketch of our model pig. There's its tail. The side closer to the head, this is called the anterior. This way. Towards the, the back of the pig, we call this posterior. This side here, kind of the back of the pig, we call this dorsal. If you think of a dolphin's dorsal fin, it's on its back side. This is the back. Okay, and the belly side. So the belly side, the proper anatomy term for this would be ventral. Okay, the body of the pig, we can call this the trunk. But this would be, this is the body of the pig. Okay, now let's take a look at just the trunk of the pig. So we're going to just look at the trunk. This is going to be a ventral view. Okay. All right, so we have two cavities in the trunk. What divides this? It's this tissue that helps us breathe. This is the diaphragm. Okay, above the diaphragm, this is called the thoracic cavity. This is, the body's thorax. Thoracic cavity. Below the diaphragm, we call this the abdominal cavity. If you think of, your abs, this is the abdominal cavity. So let's see what's in each. In the thoracic, we have our heart. flanked on both sides by lungs. And we have our esophagus in the back. Now we descend onto the abdominal cavity. We know our esophagus is hooked up to our stomach. The pancreas is underneath, behind the stomach. We have our huge liver in this cavity, hard to miss. And the rest of our abdominal organs. But we're going to be dissecting the abdominal cavity in today's lab.